In the last probably 10 years or so, it's been the most, I suppose, consolidated for us in that we've gone directly into education. And when I say we, I suppose it's me. About 9 years ago now, I went and started a degree at Curtin, and I've got a couple of people here who were with me when I started that degree at Curtin. And I came across this little program, and they had, I think, about 8 members or something at the time. And I just thought universities were this bastion of all knowledge, that they knew everything, and that's what I needed to do, because like most entrepreneurs, if you don't have an education, you kind of feel as though you're not quite worthy or you don't know something, which is really quite funny, because when I got into the university system, I realised it was them who was missing out and not me. And this was brought home to me a couple of years ago when I actually spoke to Don Mazzucchelli. Do you know Mazzucchelli's Jewellers? Well, he started the business with his father, Mazzucchelli's Jewellers. And he said to me, and I had a degree at this time, about 4 or 5 years ago, he said, I'm really intimidated by you, he said, because you've got a degree. I said, I've only just got it. Don't be intimidated at all. I didn't learn as much from university as I did from doing all the business stuff that I did all of my life. So people do feel that lack of education, formal education, is a bad thing, and it's not really. So I got into this little program and started to build up and getting to know people. Went and actually put a strategic plan together and took it to the dean, and then I got employed to work with the university. But I refused to work the university without them signing off on an intellectual property agreement. And that was that I owned the intellectual property I developed, and Mike Wood actually signed off on that, which was really fortunate because that's now our business. Okay? So, as I was developing up these programs, I felt that where I was, which was the business school, just was not wide enough for what we were doing to make it work, because I work specifically in entrepreneurship and all of those sorts of areas. I wanted to make sure that it went across the university. Now, does anyone know anything about the university system? Yeah, quite compartmentalised. Business school is here, engineering school is there, arts is here, humanities is here, etc., isn't it? Okay, ne'er the twain shall meet. Do you know that nurses shouldn't know anything about business? The engineers shouldn't know anything about the arts. Well, to me, that seemed ridiculous. How are you supposed to get entrepreneurship and innovation happening unless you actually do mix in those things together? So I took it to the Vice-Chancellor and I said, I want to take this into the whole university system. And he actually said yes, and he championed the initiative across the university. Now, what I didn't realise when I first started doing this stuff was that academics are really, really strange. Oh my God, I'm sorry, Ross. The way the promotion system works in a university is that you have to research, and you can't cut any of the corners. You're not supposed to anyway. You're not supposed to go straight to the Vice-Chancellor and actually get the things that you want to happen in a unit, right? Well, I did, and I took it straight to the top, and I pitched my business case to the Vice-Chancellor, and he said, yes, I will support you in doing that. Now, can you imagine the reaction that other academics had in this process? It was not done, because you had to go up the set hierarchy, didn't you? And also, I didn't have a degree, which was a bit of a stumbling block for some of the academics. In fact, in 2003, when I won the Business and Higher Education Roundtable Entrepreneurial Educator of the Year, I at that time did not have a degree, which really surprised the academics at the university. Also surprised the head of business, because he came with me to the awards night. And you should have seen the look in his face. Michael got this beautiful photograph of him when he leaned over to me and he said, dear, we don't win any of these awards. And then when my name was read out, his jaw dropped and he took the photo. It was lovely. So, anyway, anyway, from all of this, I started the process of pretty much entrepreneurship within the university system. I had to go and find the champions in each of the different divisions. That meant building relationships in those areas. That meant talking to the secretaries, making sure that they were on board, that they understood exactly what I was trying to achieve. Bringing in profile from outside, from industry, into the program so that people could see and help the students. It was also about sponsorship and fundraising because I couldn't actually run any of those programs, none of them, without funding. And believe me, the university itself did not provide anywhere near as much funding as we needed. And also, what we were doing is very risky. Entrepreneurship's risky, would you agree? Yeah, okay. So when I go to them with projects like, let's do a tourism monitor for Latvia, what do you think they said? You can't go to Latvia, can you? Can't possibly do that. Well, we did.
Funding for the travel.
No, we don't have funding for that.
Take funding away from trips to conferences.
Exactly, which academics need, isn't it? That's right. So you can't possibly do that. You can't possibly help people in Africa to set up import-export companies, can you? No. And one of my favourites, I wanted to build a house. You should have seen what they said to that. Actually, we're doing that next year, so it's happening. When I say the programs I developed were programs that would help students in all the various divisions to come together on a project where they could learn and achieve something for community outcomes. All right? So, for example, our Spirit of Africa project was a project where they helped poor Nigerian women actually design and make jewellery and then export it into other countries so that they could survive. So to do that, we had to raise the funds, we had to find the export markets for them, we had to go and train those women. You know, all of that takes money. It was a significant amount of money to do that. So the students raised all the sponsorship. The students were educated on how to actually export the jewellery in the first place. They had to go to, and I arranged all these seminars for them to go to. So can you imagine the education opportunity that a student would have doing this real life experience stuff? Isn't that what you'd really want from a university system? Yeah. How many of you sat, if you went to university, in a lecture theatre and listened to the lecture? How many of you actually found that you could apply it? No. One. The application for these sorts of things, sciences, technical stuff mostly. And the application of the degree comes after a long time, and it's like little things here and little things there. What we found was by pulling the programs together and doing what we did, it actually shortened the time that you could learn the theory and actually apply it in the workplace or into your life in some way, shape or form. And because of that, industry came knocking at the door. So students going through the program, industry would say, what students have you got? You know, so we had lots of students, and I know we've got one student here. We did a project for Motorola, didn't we? Yep, see? And ended up working for Motorola. And so, you know, and these are the sorts of things that were happening constantly. So the programs we were getting progressively getting bigger and also quite risky. When I say risky, it wasn't risky from my point of view, but from a conservative university point of view, very risky. And I saw the writing on the wall that we would have to be out of Curtin. Now, in saying that, I decided in 2005 that I would get out of Curtin, but I wasn't getting out of Curtin without a relationship with Curtin, was I? So I created a program where over a period of time I would show them the benefits of me being outside Curtin but still delivering back to Curtin, which we still do, by the way. So we ended up getting out at the end of 2006 and starting the Australian Experiential Learning Centre.